Hello. 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 Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. You know, it's funny. Before I even post the video on YouTube, people already got something to say about Commiso before I post the video, even on YouTube. So even though I may not get every sentence out as quickly as everybody hacking my computer, they're writing about my statements about your veterans for some reason. Uh, I'm still your disabled combat veteran after 9/11. Michael Commiso in the battle. So it's hard to be an artist back home when the first thing you all do is judge me before I even use the internet. As an American citizen, I feel that you say that we have freedom of speak as Americans. Yes, I feel like not every Americans say the right things or can't get out the right words to say as Americans. But I think that's the whole point as the internet. You already gave somebody a hard time using the internet before they used the internet. And now, while I felt like I was the only one that had the learning disability in class, I don't know much about the students that I went in the classroom with in school. I don't know if the teachers selected students to be around Commiso when I was in school. Because I'm a shy, quiet person. To get words out of Commiso is a lucky day in school, I feel like. So, yes, maybe some of the students gave me encouragement to speak in this classroom, and sometimes when I feel like, man, the only reason why this teacher's picking on me to read this book, because they know that I have trouble reading the book. I can read the book inside my mind, but when I pronounce words, I can't pronounce the words as correctly as everybody else in the class. So that's why I felt, oh man, I'm the only one in this classroom that has a learning disability. And I feel like, well, eventually everybody in the classroom will feel like, oh, Commiso has a learning disability. So I don't know if that's like the internet. You know, it's hard being a veteran back home so far. Because I feel like, well, yeah, I may not have some social skills to talk to people, but I'm not that hard to hang with. But with the internet, it's hard to speak your mind on the internet because everybody always take it the wrong way. As fast as you see each other online now to judge each other to where, I don't know, I feel like people saw each other the same way before the internet. So what's seeing too much of each other? Is that what's going on? I guess so. Seeing each other going, oh, we all eventually will all get speech impediment using the internet. I may not speak as fast as everybody, but because everybody's like, when's he going to get out what he needs to say? But I think that's the whole point of the internet. People don't take the time to think what to say. People don't have time to think what to say as fast as the internet. I took them classes. I took science classes. I may have a learning disability, but I took the same classes as every single person that was in the school system. I'm from New Jersey, if anybody figures it out by now on the internet. But I felt like Thomas Edison was around New Jersey at the time in the 1800s. Thomas Edison. So, yeah, maybe now in New Jersey, but back in the time we had a genius in New Jersey. I don't know how many geniuses there are in New Jersey, but as a New Jerseyan, I could say, wow, as an American citizen born in New Jersey, at least I could say, well, maybe they all got something to say about the New Jersey guy at the party, but at least I had Thomas Edison. And what else? Who else? Albert Einstein? I feel like Albert Einstein was in New Jersey too. Oh, hey. I felt like maybe Stephen Hawking was around New Jersey too somehow. So, yes. I don't know how many geniuses there are in New Jersey now. Yes, I will agree with you at the part. Not to be me, because if anybody, yes, I may not have the college degree to be a comedian. You know, I felt like I was trying to do college back home. But I got distracted by all the other people that uses the internet. I have to realize there's more people online than just Commiso. So I'm like, if the law is on my computer, why is the law allowing my computer to get screwed over? I'm just trying to figure that one out. If that's a tough question for everybody online as Commiso in New Jersey, I apologize. Because I have a speech impediment, and if people take me the wrong way, it's probably because I have a speech impediment, and I don't know most of the conversation that was going on in school most of the time. All the time, really. I was basically waking up every morning. I just was happy that I got out of the bed to go to school every day. Yeah, I was an outcast in school. I felt like I wasn't the cool kid in school. That's Commiso. Yeah, I was winning medals on the wrestling team, but I still felt like I was the outcast on the wrestling team. It must have been my goofy glasses. So I apologize on the wrestling team when I got blind. You know, I was doing pretty good in Fisher School in the wrestling team. Everybody was so proud of me. My coaches, the teachers, even some of the students around me that knew that I wrestled was proud of me as Commiso when I was on the wrestling team. So now I'm back home from war. I don't understand everybody's vibe back home. Uh, Everybody goes to the party and you got some kind of good vibe going on. You play some good music at the bar, at the club. You got some good vibe going on and everything. So maybe that's what the internet is. Because right now I feel like when you go on the internet, it's like going to the dentist and you got that dentist music going on every time that dentist music's playing every time I go on the internet. And I'm saying, why is it so hard to use the internet? It's not my fault. You act like I go out of my way and click everywhere on the internet. No, the internet, somehow you all send me the internet, right? Somebody's sending me the internet. I don't know anything about hacking, if anybody realized by now. So I came up with, I saw Back to the Future, the movie, and it feels like everybody's deleting each other off the internet because everybody can't handle the truth that everybody's on the internet or something. So I watch it. I do want to watch new movies, but I feel like I have to fix this time. That I feel like time on internet is off. Because back in the day, if anybody went to school online, I wonder, I wasn't really an internet person. I don't feel like I'm really an internet person right now. Yeah, I'm supposed to be like this New Jerseyan guy that knows how to surf. I don't even know how to surf either. And basically, I'm afraid of deep. You want to know what I'm afraid of? You ever watch that football movie and the coach sits down and says, what you afraid of on the football field? Then they're all afraid of spiders. Well, I'm afraid of deep-ass fucking water. I really don't float that well in the ocean. I'm really not a strong swimmer. And I guess knowing what's in the ocean, as I guess they got sharks for a TV show. I don't think anybody goes in the ocean anymore watching this. Everybody watched the show Sharks. They say, oh, there's sharks in the ocean. We didn't know when we was kids. Everybody was going to the beach and having a good time. You got them little kids' shovels and the little buckets and you dig holes. And the parent says it's time safe enough to go into the ocean now. And you trust your parents to go in the ocean at the time where maybe the sharks are not around. That's how smart people were back in the day. You know, everybody was looking for the sharks in the ocean and knew exactly what the same time to go. We didn't even have to even get involved. Have conversation with the sharks in the ocean back in the day. But now since everybody's watching sharks, everybody's trying to get a boat now. Everybody's an expert on sharks now because they watch the show Sharks. Everybody's getting a boat, and everybody's asking to get a boat to go on the ocean and ask the sharks, why are you attacking people, sharks? And I feel like maybe that's why they're attacking us. Because we're annoying them and asking why you're attacking us. I feel like over time, if somebody keeps asking me the same question over and over and over and over and over and over, I get mad too, like the sharks in the ocean. So I saw why the sharks were mad in the ocean. Can we move on and figure out what else we can do on this planet? We already figured out why the sharks are upset. So we're going to go pick a fight with the sharks or something. So I'm trying to figure out what it means to be a disabled combat veteran. And I don't know what everybody wants from me back home. Because I feel like, well, if they let me go, but I feel like, is that what people do? Even though the facts that I'm a good guy and I serve my country, if you really think I'm an expert using the internet and know somehow how to connect with people in the social media world, hopefully by now hacking my life as people, I have no social media skills at all. So I feel like maybe if I make these YouTube videos and you watch them, you will understand my Commiso on the internet. But I can't keep up with the streaming world because, for one, everybody wants to be the part of the streaming world, and two, so I don't know what path we're all leading to, but I feel like we got some kind of hint of what we are online as people. But I couldn't understand why it's so hard and complicated to organize the internet. I feel like, well, yeah, I'm from New Jersey, but there was geniuses around here at one point in time. So do I have to walk in the same sidewalk as a genius to figure out what the genius is thinking about at the time? Everybody staring at him when he's walking down the street? No, I would think that would take a long time to do. So, I don't know what kind of videos, I feel like as a New Jerseyan, I guess I would get why there were 60s in the New Jersey at the time when there was 60s in the New Jersey and everybody was chilling and surfing, and then they somehow Jaws came out and nobody wants to surf in New Jersey because Jaws came out in the movie. So I apologize if I didn't keep up with surfing in New Jersey, if that's the key of being a New Jersey. And yes, I like going to the beach and I like the ocean, but apparently there's sharks in the ocean. I didn't know that. What? Because when I was a kid, I was always flopping around on the shallow end of the ocean. They always tell you, right now the ocean's in the high tide, so everybody's sitting around waiting to go in the ocean because it's high tide. But I feel like as an adult, I didn't really pay attention most of that time. I just wanted to go to the ocean because I wasn't in the ocean for a long time. And yes, I feel that I'm not a strong swimmer to go all the way out to the deep end in the ocean. And I really don't want to say hi at the sharks. Maybe I could say hi from the beach. Maybe I say hi from the sharks on the beach. But when I'm in the ocean, hopefully I would just, well, I guess when you get older, how can we survive in a world where we are living in a world where everybody's afeared to go in the ocean because they're sharks? But there was time where there was like the sharks had their own thing going on in the ocean that maybe they didn't mind much about. Well, maybe we picking on them now on the shows. You know, I feel like the positive shows are more positive feedback for people. So I don't know if we know too much about sharks now, and we're going to bully sharks now because they live in the ocean because of the TV show, and then they get mad at us. I feel like we could share the oceans, you know, as people living on planet Earth with the sharks and everything. Yes, I won't be swimming around sharks if I know they tell me there's sharks in the ocean. But sometimes I feel like we had a connection together with me and the shark when I was a child. But now, I'm like, what everybody want from me back home as a disabled combat veteran? Because it's like everybody's chilling at the beach with the sharks back home with the TV shows. And with your veterans, I'm like, they're all mad at me when I go to the beach now in the days when the sharks see the shark. That's how I feel using it as a human being, using the internet. Sometimes I feel like the sharks got smart, and the sharks can use the internet too. It's not just people using the internet no more. There's sharks. And people don't know the sharks are the internet. And when they read all this bad comment about the sharks, and that's why they're mad now when we go in the ocean. You know? So, but how can we live if everything is a warning sign on the street and you can't go down this way because the sharks walking down the streets at this time, at this period? I feel like we had a connection with even nature as people. But now since we're always on the internet, I don't think anybody's aware of nature. So that's why when people go to the beach, everybody's in their cell phones and internet all the time, while people were aware there were sharks before where I was a kid. I just felt like this is how far and deep I should go in the ocean. And when it gets lower, wow, I didn't know I could go out this far. When it's low tide, and then and everybody was safe. But now, it's like, everybody has excuse. I'm like, well, I don't know how educated people are viewing the internet nowadays. I don't know if every computer is on a different timeline and a time machine or something. Like, since everybody can send each other pop-up sites to their computer, so what time is everybody really are if everybody's getting thrown off? On the timeline online, there's a time machine. So it's unfair that, well, they've all been on the internet for years now, and I feel like people themselves online too. I feel like a lot of people use the internet nowadays. I don't know if every person is a responsible person to click on buttons, if discover the internet, if this is how it works or something. Oh wow, everybody knows how to turn on a laptop and make a password to turn. I'm tired of passwords. I don't know if that's just me online. Because you say that passwords protect your profile, but I don't feel like any passwords online protect anything because it's not though. You gotta remember the password, you gotta write it down, and you get mad when you lose the password, and people hack your computer anyways, and then you said, oh, gotta start another profile. But then we're like,
I think maybe you should spend the night and responsible for yeah.
Those people in the world want to have a good time when they use the internet and have to remember all these goddamn passwords. And that, I don't get you guys. I don't know if there's some kind of weird way of internet world where people are not getting. Well, we were educated enough to swim with sharks in the 80s and the 90s and maybe some of the 2000s. But now, since we're questioning the sharks on television, they must be irritating, or something. So, I don't know how it is now. If everybody's got some kind of matrix. I guess that's what's going on. Everybody's in the matrix back home online, and they have some kind of system of the internet as the matrix, as people back home. And since everybody took the time to get me back home, and that's the reason why it's me as a veteran. I didn't get the matrix back home for war. I understood the movie, The Matrix. I feel like I have some kind of understanding of the Matrix movie, but I'm trying to figure out the Matrix on the internet. So you're trying to tell me everybody watched the Matrix movie, and since everybody watched the Matrix movie on the internet, and now everybody's like, oh, we all know that everybody eventually going to figure out how to use the internet and turn on the computer and figure it out. But since we're living in the Matrix, we're going to give everybody a hard time. But don't everybody want to have a good life? I feel like, having law in America is like a customer service for people, right? We're smart enough to have law to protect ourselves from ourselves as the law. But I don't understand being a human being online. So, do people like discuss deeper subject just to get more drama or something? I highly doubt Isaac Newton or Thomas Edison or Albert Einstein took the time bullying people in school. They had better things to do in school. While everybody's bullying them in school, they came up with ideas. While everybody's sitting there and just bullying. So, I feel like nobody wants to get bullied, right? So why do we bully each other? If nobody wants to get bullied over something, over whatever, I don't know. what's the list of how much people can bully you now using the internet? Maybe one day, I got a dictionary. I finally got a pocket dictionary. Maybe one day they would tell you the list of the bullying in the book or one day or whatever. But the amount of effort and time to point out everybody's faults and negative on the internet. We're gonna not even notice all the positive things we did on the internet. So far, I feel that there's a purpose of the internet. If we, as people, invented the internet, it's a purpose of why we have the internet. So I highly doubt it's everybody sitting on the computer and coming up for a reason why to bully each other, to hate on each other. So I feel like that if I ever had the chance to go to college, my major would be art. Because I knew how to draw before I even went to the art classroom. But the neat thing about going to an art classroom was the teacher teach you different more ways of how to draw and shade and painting. So it would have been interesting to take art classes in college because the college courses are more advanced in art. But I'm stressed out. I don't have time for myself as a disabled combat vet. As to where we, as we were, I feel like as veterans, we were soldiers at one point in time as veterans. And I felt when I was in the military that, yeah, I was more organized in the military. I felt I understood my battle buddies around me. We knew when to get up in the morning to eat. We knew where to exercise. And we trained each other how to travel with each other as battle buddies. Life was simple in the military. We didn't have time to discuss where the bars were. We just got out of the barracks to figure out where the bars were as battle buddies, I felt like. So now it's like, now we gotta discuss and sit what to do next in our lives. And I'm trying to figure out how to use the internet still as Commiso. I still feel like if I somehow get it, how to use the internet, I'm still not cool enough to use the internet. So what are we teaching each other as people using the internet? I know you gotta read a lot of books to be smart and understand things more, because I know that. I bought a lot of books so far, but I might have ADD. If I'm speech impediment, there's maybe a chance that I could be dyslexic. So if the teachers thought I was giving them a hard time because I was trying to go take my time on the test and everything, everybody's going fast in the test. I was taking my time on the test and actually trying to figure out what the heck they want from me in school with a learning disability. So I don't know if there's some type of learning disability as the internet, but I'm not a hurtful person. I actually try to think of the words to say to people so I won't hurt their feelings as Commiso. But I don't feel like that's how the internet works. So there was a time when I felt like the world came together as the world. We can do it again, I feel like, as Commiso. Because if people like sitting there and watching bad news all the time, it's not going to be a high rating. I feel like TV changes over the years. And I don't know how smart you have to be to live on planet Earth nowadays, but say it takes $1 trillion in the future, it takes $1 trillion to buy a hover car. If people want to really buy a hover car, it takes $1 trillion to pay for that car. So what's going to make us all millionaires in the future so we be able to afford a hover car in the future? Yeah, I don't highly doubt it's watching negative television all the time. You know, see, I watch TV like everybody else, and I'm from New Jersey and everything. But I feel that it's complicated watching television and the internet for some. Even though everybody figure out where all the movies are and where all the television show, it's still hard to watch television because the more I figure out shit, if people actually really kept up watching movies like they really say online, I'm actually behind watching movies and using the internet if you're technically thinking about it. If everybody's always streaming through the world in the streaming world of the streaming world online. So it's hard to keep up with watching movies and television shows. And I realize I'm 40 now. I really don't want to watch everything that's on the internet, every movie and television show. I feel like if I could pick a selection of television show and a selection of movies, and yeah, newer movies comes out every year. So I have to go to the movie theater and watch every single movie that came out that year? I can, but I really don't think I will. So, and nowadays you gotta pay for every site or channel. Somehow we're confused what channels are watching television nowadays as to everything is an app. So now when sites were called sites back in the day, now everything is called an app on the internet, and it takes all these goddamn apps to try to figure out how to watch all these goddamn movies and television on the internet. So that's a hard thing to do. So I highly doubt the future technology is going to be we're going to see chimpanzees using the internet in the future. And we're going to have a decent conversation talking to from all around the world on the internet with chimpanzees. And we're not going to even offend the chimpanzees when they use the internet. Because if we're smart enough to make somehow use chimpanzees the internet, we're smart enough to be nice to the chimpanzees when they're on the internet when we talk to them in the future. So I feel like people have to have some kind of connection with each other or know what it means to be nice to each other in the world in the future, to have technology like that and actually survive with technology like that, where wow, we got robots that could go in the ocean and the robots can tell us when sharks are coming. This robot is telling me sharks are coming. And are we going to even listen to the robot when they're in this? You know, it must take a lot of effort for that robot to go in the ocean, knowing the fact that the robot can get rusted in the ocean.
I'm just not ready to fast forward out to this.
So, seems that everybody has to be smart in the future. And just because not everybody's picking up as fast as everybody else in the classroom, we're all going to be basically in the same page of we're smart enough to figure out how to buy a hover car and fly a hover car, and it'd be safe to be, because we're smart enough to be safe to drive in a hover car. So, I don't know what I did to people for everybody over. It sucks that people can get up and watch news and find out some bad news and say, oh, it's a bad news day, and get over it over the bad news that day. But I'm not that kind of person. I feel like, well, if I don't know any bad news today, my day will be a good day because I don't know anything about bad news. So, I don't know if it's that hard because of the Matrix online, because everybody's got to be accepted, because everybody's being judged online 24 hours a day, and it shall not judge each other. But since somehow we all know each other's business online by you claiming you all hacking each other's lives online, I don't feel like anybody is. If I come off as to a veteran, if that's what that is, I apologize. I didn't know how to party back home for work. I was at war partying, trying to figure out why we all could just party at the war, and everybody be okay at the war. If we all party at the, we just got, if that's what it takes for everybody online to teach each other how to party in the world and have a good time, if that's what everybody's upset about, you know, we're already picking fights with the sharks in the ocean, so it's not my fault. I'm like, they all get mad at me because they pick fights with the sharks, and now I can't gently be part of the ocean. That's a Commiso. I was chilling on the beach back in the day online. There was some type of 90s generation online. I don't know how bad it was in the 90s to use the internet, but I feel like there was some kind of, hey, everybody, there's a cool party over here online. You're like, huh? Okay. And there's everybody's chilling on the internet. No. I must have been, maybe everybody's shocked that Commiso talks. That's confusing everybody when I use YouTube. But I was trying to make something out of myself on YouTube. But apparently I don't dress right. I don't know how to walk down the street right. I was just always like that when I was in school anyway. Because I'm not up to date on, oh, what's the next bullshit we have on each other to be hating on each other. We all can be chilling online and smoking weed, and we all can be butt naked online and happy in the world. I feel like Hugh Hefner. I don't know if the law goes out of the way to act like they don't know what they're doing at court. They get mad at you on purpose. Is that how it works? Oh, the law just decided to use the internet yesterday as the law. So I feel like the law shouldn't get mad at people. Yes, I feel like, well, the whole point, if we are all directed in the right direction, because the law directs us in the right direction and everybody's chilling, like it's the 60s or the 70s or the 80s online, or maybe some of the 90s. But this feels like everybody uses everything against everybody because they know everybody's each other's. Everybody seems like everybody knows what everybody's doing online 24 hours a day. So, yes, I apologize. I don't know how to talk to the ladies at the club as everybody thinks I do back home for war. But I feel like I didn't get invited to a lot of clubs back home. The parties didn't even figure out how to talk to the ladies at the club. So, I'm 40. I felt like, well, according to television, older women like younger men, and younger women like a certain age of not great-great-grandmom's age. People don't like great-great-grandpa age. When you come great-great-grandmom's age, there's no more love for you anymore. So I'm 40. So I'm in the age of, well, you already cock-blocked me for years back home because you all call me a name and bully me for some reason. I'm not sure why. And I'm like, I'm just trying to be a New Jerseyan. That you somehow, I pay my bills to use the internet as a customer. And I feel that the internet is the internet is a responsible company for me to use the internet and understand that sometimes the internet is not exactly where the internet wants the internet to be. But I don't know how hard that is. So I don't know if people go out of the way just to sit there and screw people's lives over on purpose, but I feel like that's not who I am. That's Commiso. Yes, I was a nervous chap in the military when I was serving my country as a chap in the military. So, yeah, that's the reason why I stood awake on a plane. I felt like if I stay awake on the plane, we will land safely in the earth part of wherever the plane is going. So, I don't know how much everybody look at my life acting like I did do nothing with my life as Commiso. So now I'm 40 and yeah, I apologize. I'm overweight as a 40-year-old man where you all didn't give me time to exercise back home. We're having time for myself. So, do we all work hard? So hard in our lives, and the only time we see time in our lives when we retire, and the best way we retire is when we're in the 80s and 90s, and you're too tired to even fly anymore. Then you realize, shit, I'm fucking 80s, I can't wrestle an alligator when I get to Florida. So everybody just stays and do a routine day, every single goddamn day, over and over, a routine day. Everybody on the internet has a routine day every day. Over and 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 over. So another thing that I miss serving my country with my battle buddies, every day, it was a different day serving the country with Commiso at war. You never know what's going to happen every day. Every day, everybody think it's going to be, today's going to be a sad day with Commiso at war. No. Everybody was giggling around me and everything. So, I felt like I may not have some kind of social skills or something. Well, I felt there was some laughter in the air when Commiso was around with my band of button. So I don't know how much effort it has to take to use the internet in the state of New Jersey. But I'm being bullied right now, man. If it's, I don't think it's my fault, and I'm not disrespecting the law. I feel like the law is bullying me right now. Because they sit there and claim that, oh, well, we didn't find enough to screw you over, so now since we're the law, we're going to find a lie even more to get somebody in trouble. Is that, and wonder why people get mad with the law, and we all want to abide by the law? We don't want to get in trouble with the law. As Americans, I feel like I may, as an adult, I guess that's what's going on now, that I'm an adult now online. When you become an adult, we're going to sit there and bully you the rest of your life as an adult online. Then figure out why the next generation that uses the internet does the same thing, bullying each other. I don't know if that's my fault too, as a disabled combat veteran. You know, because I feel like it shouldn't take that much effort to help your American heroes back home. So is that how the law really is on the internet? They're even hard on your American, the law's even hard on American heroes that came back home for war. That if you all think I actually know where everything is online, then there must be something wrong with the person that's trying to brainwash the world that I'm a bad person. Is that what the internet is? We have a tool to brainwash everybody to hate each other as people, and I'm like, how much cooler the internet is if everybody chill out using the internet? Well, hey, we have rating the internet for years, and we decided we don't want to watch negative on television. I miss Family Matters and Step by Step and Bill Cosby. Well, there was not much drama on television. And even getting tattoos was easy back in the day. They all acting like it's so hard to get a tattoo in America. But back in the day, even Steve Urkel at one point in time got a tattoo in the one time. Yeah, safety. I had a safety class in the military. Yes, I feel like we should all have a briefing on the safety of using the internet, where I feel like over the years, there's so much safety online, we don't have to have any more safety classes online because the internet is safe to use by now. So, yeah, I feel like I was exploring the internet, but when you explore the internet, not everybody gets the same internet. To where that's the key words. So, when you explore the internet, it should be cool exploring the internet. Everything should be safe because you're exploring the internet and discovering a castle for the first time on the internet. And that's how the internet should be every single day. When you use the internet, discover there's a castle online. And everybody's losing our imagination because everybody is a cyborg on Star Trek on using the internet. That's why when they ask you, are you a robot? We're too stupid to figure. We have to ask that question. Are you a robot using this computer? I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to answer the question right, if I'm a robot or not. When I go online. So, but I don't feel like pointing out everybody's mistakes on television is going to take us any further. It seems that find another reason to hate each other. So, we all have parents, right? Parents teach you, raise you, and you teach you how to cross the street as parents. And then you got teachers in your life. So I feel like most of my majority of going to basic training and AIT, I feel like I'm a decent guy using the internet. You know, I don't know. It takes a lot of effort to talk to each other with respect on the internet, but I feel like I earned my respect by serving my country. That's what you taught me over the years as being an American hero on the internet. We, as veterans, earn our respect. So, you know, I don't feel like veterans have to be friends with everybody back home. And if you don't like me as a veteran, you know, there's always a different story. Well, there's a different way of walking down the street when I'm not there. But I'm an American veteran. So, as the internet works, people put themselves like a barrier on the internet and basically cock block your life and screw your life over, right? You're a barrier. Up in my, you know how easy it is. Man, I should be a photographer for the Playboy magazine as a veteran back home because I know I can do it as an artist. I know what to look for. That's not how you look at me as a person on the internet. It's like, what else can I do to take more money from this person? I feel like that's how the law is nowadays. How much money they can take out of somebody's pocket as the law using the internet. But that's not cool though. So I feel like I didn't do anything wrong using the internet. You guys came up with a name to call me and lying about a whole lot where I'm like, well, I don't understand this. Nature been on internet for, I feel like human nature been online and the animal kingdom been online and we are adapted with the internet. We are people online. So unless everybody gets up every morning and turn on their computer and start fighting about something and don't even get to walk out the door and see a sunny day and have a good day, that's not my fault too, as to say. Since I came back home from war, I feel like everybody's throwing all their problems on me as of even in my hometown law is throwing all their problems on me. They feel like, well, if they bully one person online, that overnight the internet's going to be fixed because the law bullies somebody on the internet or a few people bully someone else. No, the internet the same, is it? So, you know, I'm just Commiso online, and yeah, it's like everybody's making each other question who they are as people that uses the internet. We already know that people use the internet, but we still question if you're a robot that uses the internet. Even the fact that we already know there's people using the internet, but we still question it. So maybe if I don't know, if I feel like everybody wants to succeed in life. So if everybody's like screwing each other's life over, and then we wonder why the economy's down and everybody's in jail, you all just fucking set each other up to fail, and that's not the purpose of using the internet. So, I'm not a mean person, and I don't feel like I go out of the way to get people in trouble. You know, I never wanted to get my battle buddies in trouble. I felt like maybe that was some kind of connection I had that Commiso will have my back at this. Even though this Commiso at the club and at the bar somehow I feel like Commiso had my back at the club, and he's just Commiso at the club. And I felt like that was like my battle buddies. I don't know. I felt like my battle buddies felt safe partying with me on the internet. Wow, everybody doesn't have an updated profile. Nobody, wow, everybody's not updated on the internet. Wow, everybody's computer's slow. Everybody's not getting whatever they want, whatever. I don't know. That's not my problem either, as to the same. I feel like, well, if soldiers was protecting America all these years, everybody back home online should be chilling. And so, no, I don't go out of my way to try to find negative internet. I am born in the 80s, and I feel like, well, I don't even know why anybody's fighting in the world nowadays in the first place, because I was born in the 80s. We had Madonna and Michael Jackson and everything. Everything was chilling, and we had Madonna and Michael Jackson in the 80s. So, I don't know what's going on nowadays, but I don't know what. Most of the time, yeah, I'm all over the place. You make, as a disabled combat veteran, you make your veterans all over the goddamn place. How organized the military is. At least in the military, I knew what time to get up in the morning and have breakfast when I was in the military. You know, I was just happy that I was somewhere part of the. I didn't know where I was most of the time in the military myself. But I did something with my life. It sucks that people look at history the wrong way. They say, oh, the reason why things are going bad is because this will happen in the history. No, they just did not know what to do back in the day to get along with each other. As we should know, we had Michael Jackson and Madonna in the 80s. We sure already know how to get along with each other by now. That should be this, oh shit, they got clubs and bars and where the party or a theme parks for a reason on this planet. They figured it out last life on this planet. Excuse me. You know, I feel like there's enough ladies in the world for everybody has a lady. You know, that should be solved too. But that's not the case, is it? So I don't know who put soap operas on the internet, but it shouldn't be that much drama as soap operas on the internet. If everybody knows what it takes to make each other happy, like going to the theme park or spending time trying to find a lady at the club, well, I guess every club's got something to say online. So, I'm getting bullied back home for some reason. So, I don't know if everybody or a few people went out of the way. Oh, you can see that I'm 100% disabled combat veteran. Now you're going to take more advantage of me because you know more what to say at court, at the law, or law. You know, I appreciate the law. I respect the law. I feel like, yeah, they tell me enough that the law is there for my safety in them. But if somebody keeps saying the same word over and over, you'll get irritated. So, I'm just being a veteran, and so far, I didn't watch a lot of veteran movies or whatever, what's going on television. I watched bits and pieces of movies, and so far I know I have a path now in my life in movies. I know what I like. And it seems that I like the goofy movies. You all can call, oh, this guy don't like, he's corny because he likes all the goofy movies. That's what I'm thinking when I use the internet. That's exactly what everybody's saying. That he watches goofy movies and must be something wrong with me. Well, I'd rather live in Commiso reality than everybody else reality on why not to be friends with each other online on the world. Because I feel like, well, hey, this makes me happy. Why does everybody get mad at what makes me not happy do it in my life? It's called YouTube. It's my life on YouTube. It's not my fault everybody sit there and takes offense of everybody's lives online and get mad at each other. Man, that's why I was just thinking if they had a renaissance on the internet, ouch, it would be like the 60s or the 80s or 70s. I feel like everybody be chilling on the internet in the future. Everybody has to get along in the future as to global warming is a fact, and we all have to learn how to get along with each other to survive. The world is changing to where we shouldn't get upset with each other as people online. We know that people uses the internet. So I feel like few people back home got a chip on their shoulder, or they saw that I'm a veteran back home for war and they took advantage of that. They know that I'm a good guy and nice guy. And it takes a whole lot to get Commiso, man. I realized that on the wrestling, man. I didn't want to hurt the other wrestling. I just, whatever my coach told me to do, I listened to the coach. But I realized I was a gentle wrestler. Apparently, when you become an older teenager in high school, you got more pimples or something when you're in higher grade. And you had to prove how many more pimples you got on the wrestling mat or something. But I was trying to chill. I said, I know how to pet this guy. I said, it's because I'm too light. You all got heavier and the older, as the grades got older. You all kept me at 160 and expect me to beat everybody at 160. I don't know the Guinness World Record, but I heard that a little girl can pick up 160 as a Guinness World Record. So, as I was having difficulty in classrooms with my speech impairment and learning disability, you all went safely back home after classrooms. As a wrestler, I had to stay back and run around in the school. But everybody's saying, sweating and angry and crying because they're on the wrestling team or something. There were times I was happy that everybody went home and I got to run around in high school. In the class, I ran all through the hallways. They said, there's no running through the hallways. But my wrestling coach told me to go run through the hallways. I was happy and free as a wrestler in school. I was sweating. I said, shit, I was sweating a whole fucking lot. I said, I'm breathing heavy too. Well, I was just happy that I got to run through the hallways. I didn't even realize I was on the wrestling team when the coach told me you get to run through the hallways. But there was a time when everybody had to be more of a teenager in the classroom or something. So, before it was cool to be on the wrestling team, and then now everybody's picking on you because you're on the wrestling team or something. I felt like, oh, everybody knows that Commiso's on the wrestling team. And now since you're on the wrestling team, we got to prove how tough you are because you're on the wrestling team. That's the same thing being a veteran back home. Now everybody's got to prove how tough they are to a veteran back home. I feel like I'm on the wrestling team in high school again. So, yeah. I felt like I had to take time for myself. I wrestled a whole lot. I didn't was trying to hurt the wrestling team's feelings. Everybody was trying to break me on every goddamn wrestling, man. Every goddamn everybody wanted to break me. So something I felt like this guy's here to wrestle me because they know that I'm Commiso somehow. Then I was just trying. I was hungry. I needed Gatorade. I was thirsty. I needed a hoagie. I was hungry. You always said to make weight, and I always somehow made weight. I was always 160 somehow. And I was tired, running up and down the stairs, and I was actually running. And I'm trying to put out some. I actually was running through the hallways. And then they said, oh, now pick up the heaviest wrestler and take that heavier wrestler to the other side of the mat, Commiso. I said, okay, Coach, I do it for you. I was happy, making Coach happy. And when you get older in the classes, now everybody's like, wow, he's a brown noser because he's running faster through the hallway. I was picking up speed. I felt like I was picking up speed every year. My freshman year, I was pretty fast running through the hallway. And then my sophomore year, I felt like I was going faster. And then my junior year, I was running pretty fast. Fuck, I don't know. The pressure of being on the wrestling team and you all got something to say. If it didn't matter who you are when it was on the wrestling team. And then on top of that, after high school, I went in basic training after wrestling. Yeah, I took a year off for wrestling. You all broke my bones. There was a chance, the reason why I couldn't pick you up because I had a hernia on the wrestling team. I said, I can pick up the heaviest guy why can't I pick this guy up? I know I can't. Because that was why, in the beginning, Commiso didn't worry about picking you up in freshman year. I didn't have to pick you up my freshman year. All I had to do was pin you on the mat. So since y'all want to have this, you don't have to be cooler when you're a senior. You gotta be a cool senior on the wrestling team. So that pressure got to me when I said they're gonna expect a whole lot from Commiso if I wrestle my senior year. They already asked a whole lot all these years that I was on the wrestling thing. So if I was a senior, they were to get mad on everything. It's Commiso's fault that we lost the match. So, because you're the senior and everything. So I could have handled that pressure. I was already having troubles trying to keep up with the classrooms, with the difficult. They tried to give me a harder class to see if I could take it. But just to get on my nerves because I was on the wrestling team. They all knew, has the internet. Everybody knew when the wrestling matches coming and when the tournaments come. Everybody's all strolling into the school. I'm already in there. I'm in the locker rooms already as a wrestler. I'm like behind the scenes of the movie as a wrestler. You're all strolling in. You get to get your Gatorades and you sit down and watch us move around. And we're all tired and sweating as wrestlers. Yeah, I didn't know I was supposed to entertain you in my senior year. I just want to pet this guy and go and be happy with the audience. It seems like everybody's having a good time watching us wrestle. I want to be like the audience. They're not tired. They didn't just come for practice the next day to just go to a tournament and a wrestling match. They're all happy in the audience. I wanted to be part of the audience and be happy with the audience. So then I went to basic training and went to war somehow. That's Commiso. So I wish people give me a break because, you all act like veterans don't got feelings or something, but feels like everybody's trying to compete with me. How much tears that can come out of your eyes back home? Oh, since we got more tears than you at court, and we got more tears than you back home than you as a vet, we're going to use that against you because we got tears at court or whatever. I'm like, shit. What do I advise, man? It should have. I'm Commiso a lot. If it's that damn hard to use the internet, even for Commiso, you to use the internet. And I travel all around the world. Yeah. I felt like maybe I noticed there's the internet. That's Commiso. But I really feel like I was there at the moment kind of guy. Even on the wrestling team. I got goofy glasses. Yeah, I worked out, but I was the same weight. You could be you're still 160. I feel like I learned that you have to gain a little weight to be a bodybuilder. You have to have some type of weight to be a bodybuilder. And 160 wasn't working for me. I said, I was trying to explain to the coach. I said, maybe if you make me like 200 pounds, then they would have a harder time to try to pick me up if I was 200 pounds. Then I can focus on pinning this guy. I don't have to, but I'm 160, coach. Did you know that? I needed some weight. Oh, I felt like if I just had some weight to me, I would get back on pinning everybody again. So, I don't know if it's that hard using the internet, but, I was wondering if there's an easy sport that you go to in school. If I had to take a sport in college, I don't think I could be a wrestler. I'd be like, I'm 300 pounds now. Now they're going to try to get a heavier guy. Oh, Commiso's this weight? Oh, now we're going to give him a 400 pounder now. I said, this guy's not 300 pounds like me. He's 400, 500 pounds. And everybody's looking at me like it's my fault on the wrestling team. Well, you lied. You all said to make weight, and you lied. You all said you all glad that I made weight. You was all happy, but over time, everybody got heavier over the years. See, when you were in Fisher School, basically everybody was the same weight. Even the big guy was the same weight on the Fisher School. But when you get to high school, now you're dealing with fucking 400, 500 people pound. I didn't know people could get that heavy. They didn't tell me that when I was in Fisher School. So I'm sorry. I had hernia surgery. I feel like my jaw's locking up because of something. Probably, I don't know, you think you need a doctor to figure out there's something wrong with my jaw. I felt like everybody picked a fight with me just because you have to be cooler on the streets. Is that the problem going on? So I can't get a welcome back home because y'all have me cooler on the streets at court around here or something. I have feelings, If everybody, I don't know if feelings is out there nowadays, but I feel like I had some type of feelings as the internet. And I feel like, well, do you really think anybody would use the internet if everybody's always getting in trouble with using the internet? So you all must have got upset that I didn't wrestle my senior year back home for Warriors. That's what's going on. I apologize, okay? I had to take the test, same test as everybody else did in high school. And I had to focus. And I told everybody I was going to the military. So I said I should take a year off on the wrestling team because I told everybody I was going in the military. So I'd be fresh when I go in the military. But that's not how it works. Everybody's like, where's Commiso? What's wrong with him? Where'd he go? It's my fault now because you're a senior year. You made me nervous my senior year as the goofy guy with the glasses on the team. If you wanted me to be 160 my senior year and wonder why freshman students was beating me, because I was 160 like the freshman year. Well, I felt like I was getting stronger at the gym. I was picking everybody up. But when I got to everybody went felt like everybody wanted to beat me up because they know I was Commiso on the wrestling match. So, I had to take a break from the wrestling team, okay? Now I got to take a break from the internet. It's a lot for me to say. As to, I bought a art dictionary. It's got all the artists and artworks to look up for art. And then I got a bigger dictionary coming, but this is a good start for a pocket dictionary. Then I got myself a law book. I got a newer version of a law book. You all upset now and get mad about? Probably. And then I remember getting these pocket dictionaries when I was a kid. They was actually smaller than this one. So now I feel like I have enough words to say to you, but I got a speech impediment, and I have to write all these words down in a notebook just to read it to you, just to use the internet back home for. So, for some reason, everybody's giving me a hard time back home, and I'm like, I'm just trying to be an American hero back home, and everybody somehow knew exactly what time to screw your veteran over back home, and now I don't know. I'm just going to all I can keep doing is keep being Mike Commiso, right? And I feel like I was nice to everybody on the wrestling team. I wasn't a brown noser to the coach. I felt like coach liked me because I was a good wrestler and I was nice to the coach. So I was the same thing in the military. It's Commiso as I was on the wrestling team. I was a shy, goofy guy that I had to get some few beers to try to go up to the girl to talk to her at the club. Because I really didn't have time to do that in school. Maybe you all figure out how to talk to girls in school as some kind of social media or socialization and so. But I always felt I'm not in the right time, in the right place to have a girlfriend right now because I have to figure out how to get an A in this classroom. So
YouTube events.
I could graduate high school and get the heck out of here. Because in the end, in high school, because you all thought I was going to say in the end of life, but in the end of just in high school, they make it seem like, wow, after high school, everything's going to be great after high school, man. You know, no more pimples. You're in the 20s. Everybody's saying you're a legal age to drink at the club. You could go to college parties like American Pie movies. You even got American movies saying when you go to college, it's like you're a special motherfucker going to college. But no, seems like if it's that hard to get into college, then as it is using the internet, then I don't wonder why everybody's upset. Because you all made it sound like after high school, it's like going to be, you did your job to go to school all these years. You did it. You graduated high school. Everything's going to be great now. And then I go to basic training at AIT, and then I go to war, and duty stations. To go home for war. And I'm like, damn. You're trying to tell me people stab each other in the back and don't even think as how fast, oh, that's my friend they talk bad about online and I stand up for that friend online? Say why you're bullying Commiso on the internet. But I don't think there's some kind of messed up matrix I don't know about.
Well, Holocaust, tell me that.
So on that note, I have to lay down because I'm tired. It's hard for me to sleep back home as a veteran. No, because y'all some kind. Dude, you're on my case on everything I do online, and then you keep picking on me. Everything. So I'm tired. Every time I lay down, you're gonna pick on me again. So what the heck you want from me? I feed the cat on time. I try my best to change the litter box. I feel like I've been doing the best of my abilities. I really want to paint my own room and everything. I decorate it and everything and make a cave, man cave. I watched that movie show, Man Cave. But my man cave is not right for you. Guys got to say something to you about my man cave. So, if it's that hard to party with each other in the world, imagine having a relationship. So maybe I was a shy, quiet kid because I was smart enough to know what ladies are when I was at school. You all got ladies problems. If there's ladies I don't know about, I have a problem with, that's not my problem. I didn't know there was a lady that I had a problem with. I didn't know it. It's not my fault. Really? All the times I've been traveling the world and trying to, enjoy my life like Walter Mitty in the movie. I didn't have time. I said, why? The pressure of being online and you all make relationship like the most complicated thing to do in life. So, yeah, I'm upset that I didn't find a date in my life. I've been cock-blocked on the internet for years, so that doesn't help me back home as a veteran. If you all help me, it's like everybody help each other out to get each other's the loves and you all back in time, and you helping each other find each other's love. You got an American Pie group, and you help each other find love at the party. No, not a veteran. So I didn't mean to. I was a shy, quiet kid, and I had basic training, a wrestling team, school. You gotta be smarter now when you go to college. Like they all say, once you graduate high school, you can get into any college you want when you graduate high school. No, apparently that's not the case. They analyze your shit in every college, and if the shit doesn't analyze in their favor at college, then you're not going into college. So, while you feel like, well, it's smart enough, don't you think it's smart enough to get everybody to go to college? Because now everybody's smart enough is even more. When you only have few people smart at college, now you got even more people to be smart. So everything has got to be some cool points. You got to be smarter than each other on the internet nowadays. Where before, nobody know what the heck the internet is, and everybody's throwing footballs and collecting baseball and football cards on the streets. Now you got to be cool and use the internet now. So that's not my fault too, unless it's disabled combat better. So this is your disabled combat veteran after 9/11. I need to lay down now with my kitty cat because I'm tired. And I can't always be worried about what everybody's thinking about me all the time. I realize, man, do people really talk behind each other's back and then can't figure out why we can't get along? And all you had to do was say, hey, man, can you chill out a little bit? That's all you have to really say. If you think, hey, internet, can you chill out a little bit? I think the internet been uptight for years now, and I think right now we need to chill on the internet because the internet been uptight for all these years. So I really don't feel like I'm an uptight person, but I am kind of like the guy that always try to get the A's and B's, and I have to work harder because I can't pronounce the goddamn word out of this goddamn book to figure out what the book is talking about. So I have to go try to figure out what the word is to figure out what the book is talking about. And I was like, oh, it took all this goddamn time to figure out this one word to figure out what the book is talking. So yeah, I think when I watched 9/11 on television in high school, and that's where I was practicing. I must have got distracted on the wrestling team one point in time, because I knew what Coach wanted me to do. He said, Commiso, just pin this guy. Commiso? I said, that sounds easy. I said, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it, Coach. All I have to do is pin this guy. And everybody's all trying to earn points off of me. They're jumping around me. They're jumping around this way. They try to get 2 more points off of me. I was like, Coach, what's going on, Coach? You told me all I had to do was pin this guy. He's jumping all around for some reason. Why is he jumping around for? I want him, he won't go where I want him, Coach. He won't lay down on the mat and get pinned. So I couldn't handle pressure my senior year of wrestling. They said they're going to expect a lot from me. I already know. It's already here, my senior year. Oh, and I'm walking around the wrestling area. Everybody's looking at me. What are you doing, Commiso? I said, no, they're going to pick, I don't know. They're going to get mad at me if we don't win the match. Because now it's my senior year. Oh, it's your freshman year. It's okay, Commiso, if you didn't get a lot of wins. It's your freshman. Oh, sophomore year. Oh, let me get a call for you so you can comb your hair on the wrestling team. Then junior year, holy shit. They're all prepared for senior year on Commiso. I already knew my junior year. I said, shit. They all try to break me all over. I'm not even at the tournament yet. They're all trying to break me. So I had to take a break from the wrestling team, okay? Everybody's breaking my bones and everything. There's a chance I had a hernia. I know I got hit in the head enough in life. I think if you're smart enough to know that you got hit in the head enough, then I feel like I'm okay, even when you guys try to call me a name and bully me on it. So, this is your disabled combat veteran after I went to Commiso in the basketball and everything.